Mozambique has a tropical and humid climate. It is a country that has beautiful sights bathed by the Indian Ocean in Southeast Africa. Nonetheless, the natural beauty contrasts with the marks left by the war. Mozambique became independent from Portugal in 1975. 2 years later, a civil war broke out and lasted until 1992. Today, Mozambique has 24 million people and is considered by the United Nations as one of the least developed countries in the world. Almost 45% of its population is illiterate. Amongst the women, this number is even greater. About 60% of the women cannot read nor write. The state of Nampula is located in the northern part of Mozambique and is the most populated area of the country. The largest people group is the Makua. Its population is young. 44% are 15 years of age or younger. The 2013 UNICEF's report shows that Nampula is one of the states with the highest levels of infant malnutrition. Over a fourth of the children born are dead within their first month because of chronic malnutrition. It was within this context that the missionary couple, Kléber and Juracema, arrived in Nampula in 1997. The goal was to work with the Makua people, up to that point considered an unreached people group. 18 years later, there are more than 50 churches planted in the villages and in the coastal cities, where the majority of the population is Muslim.
In the beginning, we saw the need in Africa for not just planting churches, starting churches, but also for working with the people because of their great needs. So in the beginning, he had this vision to start a school along with the church. And Juracema even went to college there, got a degree in education to be the director of the school. So they started this school in one part of the city. Then later on, the land they had, they saw was way too small for them to be able to develop this work as God was leading them. So they decided to buy a much larger piece of land, about 25 acres they found near the airport in Nampula. But I thought they were a little crazy because it was right in the heart of a Muslim community. But they felt God was leading them to buy this land, which they did, and then they transferred the church they were working with to that land and also the school. In the beginning, the people in the Muslim community were a little bit leery of this church, especially evangelical church, and so they counseled one another not to send their children to this school. The first year, they had 10 or 12 students. But now, 18 years later, as this school has gained prominence in the community and credibility, this year they have had over 1,000 students studying at the school.
The school is recognized by the Secretary of Education of the state of Nampula. There's also the Hope Home, which houses about 60 students. They receive 3 meals a day, clothes, school, medical assistance, and are taught to follow Jesus. Much has already been accomplished, but there are many more challenges. Vision 360 Ministries has supported Kléber and Juracema's work for the past 10 years, both financially, doing leadership training, and encouraging the missionaries. Now, we need you.
Vision 360 Ministry has been involved in Africa in 3 different ways. First of all, we have become friends with the missionaries, Kléber and Juracema, by helping them in their individual needs. We have also taken professionals like an agricultural technician, a nurse, dentist, who have been there to help the people Makua with their gifts. And we have also taken anything that we can to provide for them, like used clothing, toothbrushes, toothpastes, sewing machines, sometimes even musical instruments. Whatever they need, we try to take there.
So now we are facing 3 great challenges with the Makua people in Mozambique. The first challenge is to provide for them clean water. Many of them are getting their water from wells or riverbeds and the water is not only dirty, but it's not even healthy to drink. So we've developed through an organization called Potters Without Borders. They have developed a filter, and we want to build a factory to make these filters in Mozambique. The second challenge is to build a dormitory for the young people who live at the mission. The girls have their dormitory, and now we need one for the boys as well. And the third challenge that we have is the challenge of building a chicken house where they can raise chickens for their own consumption and also to sell, so that this work can sustain itself financially. So all the works that we are doing in Mozambique, we always focus on trying to keep them so that they are sustainable financially by the people themselves. And these three projects they are working on will help them do that as well.
When we speak of the love of Jesus, it's important that we see man as a whole person. So they have a spirit, they have a mind, but they also have a body. When we help them grow physically, better their health, they will be able to listen to the message of the gospel much better.
You can also help our Makua brothers and sisters to have a better life. Pray, make an investment, and visit Mozambique on a short-term mission trip. You will be impressed with what God has done.
We have determined that the total that we need in order to do these three projects is $60,000. This will help the people, the Makua people, take one more step to get out of the extreme poverty in which they live and find just a little bit more dignity for their lives.
If you are a professional and you'd like to serve the Lord in Africa with us, or even if you're not a professional, you can still go with us and serve the Lord in Africa. If you are a dentist, a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, you can help the Makua people with your gifts. The other way you can help us is by praying for the missionaries that are there giving their lives, praying for the salvation of the Makua people. You can also give your finances, your resources, and bless the Makua people. You can send things that you have extra in your house. Anything you can give will be a blessing to the Makua people.